My top 3 specs, which I consider easy and strong at the same time. What's up guys, Petko here, welcome back for another video. Today, we've taken the time to make a video in regards to a very common question that I've been asked many times throughout all of the hours upon spending on testing different specs and classes, which are my top 3 specs that I recommend people to main. If I have to base my factors only on 2 things, that is strength, number 1, and second is gonna be easiness to play. Okay, so keep in mind, this list obviously is subjective. Things might change in the future, but we are 5.5 days away from the patch, so it's quite unlikely. Okay, so let's dive in and talk about them. All right, our number 1 spot is gonna be the strongest spec in my opinion so far, going to patch 11.2, Frost Death Knight. Honestly, after the complete rework, well, quote-unquote complete rework of Frost Death Knight, they feel a lot better to play next season. Specifically, rotation-wise, feels pretty smooth, and in my opinion, one of the easiest rotations so far in Mythic Plus. Obviously, just like any spec, there are elements of min-maxing. There are elements where you gotta juggle your resources. Make sure you spend your runes right. Make sure you understand how the cooldown management works, because you have two cooldowns. One is major cooldown, one is minor. The minor cooldown being Reaper's Mark, which obviously is one of the strongest when combined with Pillar of Frost, which gives you actually very strong funnel if there's more mobs around, which is obviously your damage goes parabolical. And the major cooldowns, Breath of Sintergosa, which went through several rounds of changes this patch. It went from a channel cast, from like a stage cast, all the way to the original volume. They've increased the damage, decreased the amount of time you can actually increase it, which obviously it's the biggest Q factor when playing Frost in my opinion. Being able to keep up your breath for longer time. A lot of people don't know how to do it, and if you want to really min-max the spec, that's something that you want to be focused on when playing. Now, we can play one-hander build, you can play two-hander build, you can play breath build, you can play Frostbane build if you like to. Either way, Frost Decay will be significantly stronger than what it was in Season 2. And also at the same time, I believe grips are going to be valuable next season, just because there are a lot of stationary mobs and casters that will keep on casting if there are no grips. For example, in Holzville told me the casters, Prairie the shooters. There's a lot of stationary mobs that will help you stack them up if you have grips. And one last thing, Frost Decay is likely one of the tankiest specs so far in Mythic Plus, which makes it, in my opinion, significantly easier to play around if you are a newbie, just because newbies tend to get hit a lot more from boss abilities, grand visuals. They don't use their defenses as much, so Frost Decay might be the perfect contender for you if you like to play melee. Now, for the folks that don't like to play melee, there's another option that I highly recommend you to play out next season, and that's gonna be MM Hunter, or in other words, Marksmanship Hunter. In my opinion, quite easy to play, both Sentinel and Dark Ranger, and at the same time, one of the strongest specs so far, still considered an S tier spec even after all of those rounds of nerfs done to them. Now keep in mind that MM Hunter, you can play once again both hero talents. I prefer, for the sake of the fun and gameplay wise, Dark Ranger. That's way more fun. But if you're looking to only break out AoE damage, then Sentinel will do more AoE output for a small loss on single target. Now, why do I think MM Hunter is quite easy? Well, you have a few buttons, right? You got your multi-shot for trick shots, aim shot, rapid fire, and that's pretty much it. You can play without volley if you're playing Dark Ranger, or you can choose to play volley if you want to. Sentinel mostly plays volley. You have one major cooldown, which is your true shot aura. Several ways to stop cast from going through, like for example, Scatter Shot, Knock Up Totem. You can have single target stun. You play also without pet, so you don't have to take care of your pet, in case it dies. You can, pop out Bloodlust whenever you feel like, in my opinion. It's very good quality of life change when it comes down to MM Hunter. And at the same time, numbers-wise so far, especially burst numbers-wise, it looks to be incredible. One of the highest burst picks in the game. And I think it will capture a lot of people's hearts, especially if you are playing low to mid-level keys and mobs don't live that long. This might be the best candidate spec when it comes down to those kind of key levels. Low to medium specs keys. Things will just melt when you play them. Which, again, at the end of the day, everybody wants to see some big numbers on a damage meter. And MM Hunter is exactly that. Very big burst, incredible damage profile, and at the same time, quite easy to play. And my last recommendation for the season comes out with another Hunter's pick, Beast Mastery Hunter. I know you guys are bored of playing Beast Mastery Hunter. I know a lot of you find it super disgusting to play, but BM Hunter is looking to be quite strong following Season 3 release. Now keep in mind, this pick has been nerfed multiple times, and even though it's not as good as Death Knight, it is not as good as MM Hunter, it's still, in my opinion, significantly stronger than majority of the specs placed on our tier list, which you guys, if you haven't seen, check out the tier list video right before this one. Why do I think MM is strong? First of all, you actually play a new build. Yes, you heard it right. MM plays a new build, which is no multi-shot build. It's kind of funny to say, but you pretty much spread barb shots, kill commands, and that's it. You that beast will do a lot of work for you in AoE. So that's exactly what people are playing right now, which makes BM Hunter even easier than it was last season. So you only care about 2 buttons, which is the perfect spec to play if you're looking to chill, talk to your mom on the phone, and play the game at the same time competitively. Yes, strong single target, no cooldown build as well, which means you have damage all the time. Well, I guess Beast of Right is your cooldown, but that's, you know, it gets cooldown reduced with your barb shots anyway, so whatever. Extremely mobile, which means you can maintain your full rotation without losing any damage while moving, doing mechanics, you know, doing whatever you want to do in Mythic Plus or raiding, and not getting punished, which likely is going to be the biggest advantage when playing this pick itself. Also, it's ranged, which is an additional advantage because you don't have to pay attention to any frontals that you have to die from. You can move easily from ground visuals. Honestly, just the perfect newbie spec so far following the Season 3 release. I just think it's a little bit boring for people. That's why I don't really, you know, rate specs based on fun. So yeah, that's my recommendation. And what bonus pick that a lot of you have seen me playing the past couple of days has been Destruction Warlock. Honestly, Destruction Warlock might be actually a wild pickup here, just because their AoE damage so far, especially consistent mass AoE damage on high level keys, looks to be incredible. Their single target, not really as good, but the AoE damage looks to be one of the best so far. It's, once again, especially in mass AoE like 10, 15, 20 mobs, looks to be incredible. At the same time, very easy to play. All you gotta do is juggle up your dots, Cataclysm pretty much on all of them. If not, manually apply Wither, Rain of Fire, spend with shards, and that's pretty much it. Conflagrate, Incinerate if you want to generate some shards. If you're already copying on shards, just spend up your abilities. For example, Rain of Fire in AoE, Chaos Bolt on single target, etc. I play myself Hellcaller. I think Hellcaller is much more fun, but you can decide to play the Abolist if you want to. That's perfectly fine by me. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much all the list for today. Now, keep in mind, if you like this kind of videos, let me know in the comments below. I was thinking to make a top 3 most fun specs to play in patch 11.2 Season 3. I don't know if you guys like that idea, although a lot of you care about what is strong, not what's fun. But if any of you is interested to see what's fun, actually, and not what's really strong, let me know. I'll make this video later on. And I have a few more videos coming out in the next couple of days. If you like this kind of content and you appreciate it, make sure to follow the channel. There's a lot of things happening in WoW right now, and I will keep you up to date with every single important thing so far for retail WoW. That's it. Take care, guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.